Breaking news is from Oregon, the US, where World Athletics Championships are underway. Today is day one, and champion Ethiopian athlete Letesenbet Gidey has won a gold for Ethiopia. She won 10,000 meters race, and she was followed by two Kenyan athletes. At number 2 and number 3, there were Kenyan athletes. At number 4, Sifan Hussein, also Ethiopia-born athlete who is representing Netherlands. At number 5th, I think there is Eritrean athlete. Out of top 10 in this race, 7 are from Africa. 7 athletes are from Africa. Africa is rich in athletics talent, and Letesenbet Gidey won silver in 2019. Then in 2021 she won bronze, and at last now she has won a gold for his country. This is first gold medal for Ethiopia in the ongoing World Athletics Championships. Congrats to Letesenbet Gidey. I am back with another video with new stories from Ethiopia, Sudan and Somalia. Firstly, Somalia's President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud arrived in Djibouti a few hours ago, and in coming hours he will travel to Ethiopia. Reportedly, he will arrive in Ethiopia on a Sunday. Which issues will come under discussion in Ethiopia? Second news is from Sudan, viewers, where curfew has been imposed in a state which shares border with Ethiopia. In tribal clashes, dozens have been killed in this state, and in 2 towns situated close to Ethiopia-Sudan border, curfew has been imposed. Thirdly, we have a new story about GERD, Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. US President Joe Biden concluded his visit of the Middle East today. He visited Israel, then he visited Saudi Arabia, and there he held a meeting with Abdul Fattah al-Sisi, Egyptian president, and in that meeting he backed Egyptian position on GERD. Fourthly, we have a new story about a student of Addis Ababa University who graduated today, and he paid tribute to his mother in a very interesting way after his graduation. Fifthly, Geta Choreda lashed out at WFP today. World Food Programme official a few hours ago, talking to BBC, said that famine in Tigray had been averted. Getachew responded to this claim of WFP. And lastly, a Tigray opposition party a few hours ago released a statement. The party is based in Tigray. The party has leveled some allegations against Tigray regional government and Ethiopian federal government. Firstly, Hassan Sheikh, President of Somalia, who is seen out of Somalia these days more than in Somalia. He arrived in Djibouti a few hours ago after completing his visit of Kenya. He started from the UAE, then Turkey, Eritrea, Kenya, and then a few hours ago he arrived in Djibouti. In Djibouti, he was received by Ismail Omar on the airport. In Eritrea, he was received by Isaias Afwerki, but in Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta did not come to airport to receive Hassan Sheikh. He was received by Minister of Agriculture in Kenya. In coming hours, reportedly, he will travel to Ethiopia after the completion of his visit of Djibouti. Djibouti-Somalia relations remained a little frosty when Abdullahi Farmajo was in power, because Farmajo government accused Djibouti of supporting Kenya, when Somalia's government accused Kenya of interfering in internal Somali matters. A commission was established led by some Djibouti politicians. The commission investigated Somalia's allegations against Kenya, and the commission in its report wrote that Somalia's allegations against Kenya lacked evidence. That is why Farmajo government was not on good terms with Djibouti. But now Hassan Sheikh is in power. He is renewing ties with neighboring countries. He arrived in Djibouti a few hours ago, and from Djibouti he is expected to travel to Ethiopia. So in coming hours on Sunday, it is expected that Hassan Sheikh could arrive in Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa. Which issues will come under discussion in Ethiopia between PM Abiy and Hassan Sheikh? Firstly, Al-Shabaab, this armed group, is a joint threat to Ethiopia, Somalia, Kenya. Secondly, Somaliland could also come under discussion. Somalia would like PM Abiy to support one Somalia policy. And thirdly, both Ethiopia and Somalia are in a position to create problems in each other's countries. I mean, Somalia can create problems in Ethiopia by backing Somali groups, and vice versa. Ethiopia can back regions which are not on good terms with federal government in Somalia. So the two leaders could discuss these things. Both countries should avoid interference in other countries' internal affairs. Otherwise, there could be problems for both countries. Now, important thing is that Hassan Sheikh is visiting Ethiopia at the end. I mean, UAE, Turkey, then Eritrea, Djibouti, and Ethiopia. What does it indicate? Does it mean that Ethiopia is the most important country for Somalia, or the least important country? That is why he is visiting Ethiopia at the end. We'll update you tomorrow after Hassan Sheikh's visit. In coming hours, he is expected to arrive in Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital. Second news story from Sudan, where Blue Nile state of Sudan shares border with Ethiopia, and here in tribal clashes, 31 have been killed, dozens injured, dozens of houses set on fire, and dozens of shops looted. Overnight curfew has been imposed, and government has banned gatherings for 1 month. The clashes started around a week ago and went on for around a week. Clashes were between two tribes living in Blue Nile zone, Hausa and Barti tribes, and in two cities of Blue Nile, these clashes intensified in the last 3 days. The two cities are Damazin and Rosario. And here these tribal clashes erupted over some land issue. Small clash, it turned into large scale escalation, and now dozens killed and hundreds displaced as well. Ethiopian migrants are crossing into Sudan, And Sunnis are now being displaced as well. Rapid support force Janjaweed fighters have been deployed to these two cities where curfew has been imposed. Thirdly, viewers, a new story about GERD, Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. Ethiopia is conducting the third filling of this dam, which was opposed. Its construction was opposed by Egypt and Sudan, and no international financial institution funded construction of this dam. Ethiopia could not secure any loans from World Bank or IMF for GERD, but despite restrictions, Ethiopia managed to construct GERD, and third filling is underway reportedly. We know that Joe Biden today concluded his visit of the Middle East. He visited Israel, then he visited Saudi Arabia, and there he held meeting with Arab leaders. He met with UAE's ruler, and he met with the Egyptian ruler to Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, held a meeting with Joe Biden in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. And their GERD dam came under discussion. Joe Biden and after Joe Biden's Sisi meeting, a joint statement was issued. Joe Biden seems to be backing Egyptian government's position on GERD. Joe Biden government says, President Biden reiterated US support for Egyptian water security. The two leaders reiterated the imperative of concluding an agreement on the filling and operation of GERD without further delay. So, US is saying that there should be an agreement on the operation and filling of the dam. So, filling should happen after this agreement. Same is the position of EU. Last month, EU took the same position, that there must be an agreement about the operation and filling of dam. Ethiopia criticized EU last month when EU took the position about dam. Now, this is not a new position adopted by US or EU. Last year, when Ethiopia was about to start the second filling of GERD, we saw same statements from both EU and the US. Both tried to stop Ethiopia from starting the second filling of GERD. Both said that it was a violation of international law, that Ethiopia should sign an agreement with Egypt and Sudan before the second filling. But Ethiopia pressed ahead with the second filling, and now third filling is underway, and once again we are seeing statements from EU, US to put pressure upon Ethiopia. Ethiopia is of this view that it is sharing information, data about dam operations, but Ethiopia is against legally binding agreement. Will Ethiopia respond to Biden's Sisi statement like it did to EU statement last month? That remains to be seen. Fourthly, we have a video clip for you of a student, Addis Ababa University student, who graduated from the university today, and after his graduation, he paid tribute to his mother in a very interesting way. He can be seen in the clip with his mother. He is carrying firewood on his back, and student's gown, his cap and his degree is being carried by the mother. The mother is wearing the cap, the gown, and she is holding the degree of the student, of her son. And the son is carrying firewood on his back. So it's a way of paying tribute by this son to his mother, who carried firewood for the family, for the son, who worked hard for the studies of her son.
እየተሸከሙ ያስተማሩ እናቶች ናቸው አሉ። እየታገሉ ያስተማሩ እናቶች ናቸው አሉ። ዛሬ አምሮብን፣ ዛሬ አጊጠን፣ ዛሬ ለብሰን ስንታይ ብርቶች ሆነን ሳንሆን ብርቱ የሆኑ እናቶች ስለ
Fifthly, viewers, Geta Choreda, Tigray presidential spokesperson, lashed out at WFP World Food Program today. World Food Program a few hours ago, talking to BBC, claimed that famine in Tigray had been averted, that since April 4,008 trucks had entered Tigray. The humanitarian situation was improving considerably. Gata Cho is not convinced. What did he say? He says, this claim is gross, to say the least. Claim that famine in Tigray has been averted. It took 8 agencies 9 months to bring in supplies enough for 6 weeks. And in some areas, people have not received any aid in the last 9 months. WFP is acknowledging that still it's facing difficulties in transportation of aid, and it is saying that famine has been averted. It's height of irresponsibility, quote unquote. Getachew says that WFP's claim is height of irresponsibility. Well, WFP has shared statistics that 4,000 trucks have entered Tigray, and no restrictions are being imposed on the flow of more aid. That is why WFP is saying that there is no imminent danger of famine in Tigray now. Enough food for 6 weeks, more convoys on their way, preparations being done for the departure of more convoys. That is why WFP says no danger of famine in Tigray. Yes, more needs to be done, as WFP said. WFP representative said in his talk with BBC that more needs to be done. More corridors should be opened. One corridor, Samra Makale, is not enough. But what WFP is saying, WFP is backing it with evidence. 4,000 trucks in the last 3 months. Lastly, viewers, a Tigray-based opposition party a few hours ago released a statement leveling allegations against Ethiopian federal government and Tigray regional government. Salse Vujien is the name of this party. The party says that judges in Tigray are being intimidated, harassed. Ruling party is approving regulations, proclamations without following proper legal procedure. Yesterday, I discussed a new proclamation enforced in Tigray with some controversial articles. And Salse Vujene is also saying that new proclamations and regulations are not being thoroughly discussed. Legal procedure is not being adopted. Judiciary is under pressure in Tigray. Economic conditions are not improving because Tigray is under siege. Salse Vujene says that Ethiopian federal government is still laying siege to Tigray. That is why no economic activity in Tigray, and ruling party in Tigray has taken some measures which are not helping, like some restrictions have been imposed on limits. Restrictions have been imposed regarding limits on cash which traders can carry. And it is one of the reasons behind decreased economic activity in Tigray. Lastly, the party says that independence of Tigray is the goal of the party and the people of Tigray should also work towards independence. Salsevene is releasing now weekly statements and it is pointing out what is happening in Tigray. Some viewers say that this is time of crisis for Tigray. Everyone should back Tigray government. Extraordinary situations require extraordinary measures. Opposition parties, all individuals should all support Tigray government. No one is against Tigray government. This party is not against Tigray government. But if something is happening which is illegal, it should be pointed out. It does not mean that people in Tigray, groups in Tigray, parties in Tigray are anti-Tigray or anti-TPLF. No. A duty of opposition party is to keep ruling party on track, and that can only be done by pointing out the shortcomings, the wrong decisions by ruling party. It does not mean that these parties are destabilizing a Tigray regional government. Thank you for watching.